everybody. Welcome to the podcast, the Project Investigation Collaboration, brought to you by the Veritas Project. And as always, we are here with our most gracious host and founder of the Veritas Project, Robert Curtis.
Hello.
And I am lead investigator Todd Boyer. And welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
If you're new here on TikTok, we are a paranormal group out of St. Louis. And we do a podcast every week talking about strange and all kinds of stuff. I mean, cryptids, ghosts, you name it.
We run the whole gamut of weird stuff.
Yep. Aliens, you name it, we cover it.
A couple weeks ago, we talked about Jack the Ripper, and then I got beat up for it all last week.
Right. Robin says, I'm new who dis. Yeah. Our moderator's trying to be funny tonight.
Yeah.
So, anything going on in your world?
There's so much.
There's
so much.
It's
been a bad week.
Bob's had some bad luck this week.
That
was weird.
The Jack the Ripper video went semi-viral on YouTube, and so all the trolls from the whole planet came in to our video.
Oh my goodness.
And started beating me up in the comments about what an idiot I am, because I don't know their pet perpetrator.
Right.
You know, like, you don't know that it was Scott Singleton who was found in blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I don't know that. You know why I don't know that? Because it didn't happen.
Right.
That's why I don't know.
It's like we are reporting directly from what the BBC said.
And that's what I kept telling people over and over again. They're like, well, you know that guy is a faker. I'm like, I don't care that he's a faker, because I'm reporting what the news said. And I even went, like, when people were like blowing up in the comments, I quoted a different news source for every person in the thing. So I was like, here is a CBS News article about it. Here's a Fox News article about it. Here's an MSNBC News article about it. You know, like, I don't understand what you don't understand, right? I can't begin to fathom how brain damaged you have to be to think that I am like, you know, the CNN, like me sitting in my basement is CNN, right? Like, I make news articles, you know. Well, you're not really accurate.
Up on the fly.
Like, I don't care that I'm not accurate, idiot. I'm reporting what someone else said. That's all we did. We sat down here and said, look, the BBC came out and said this guy is Jack the Ripper now with 100% DNA authenticity.
Yep.
That's the alpha and the omega of the argument. So, you know, well, you take that down, like, moron. I am reporting what the news said. Grow up. If you don't like it, message the BBC and tell them to take their article down. God damn. Just like an avalanche of dumb. It's been driving me absolutely insane in the comments.
Hey guys, if you're joining us on TikTok, can you please tap and share? We'd really appreciate it. Follow Bob, follow myself. I'm down here. But yeah, I mean,
and because we're a small channel, I have the comments notifications turned on.
So
so that way I can interact with people and try to, you know, so it just annoys me exponentially when I'm trying to do something and I have this one idiot over and over and over again, you know.
I'm gonna turn this a little towards you, Bob.
You know, like, I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate someone watching our channel and interacting with us 100%.
Mm-hmm.
However, it gets under my skin when I tell them something and they just refuse to accept it.
Yep.
Like, obviously it's a fraud. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Says rip to your phone notifications, right?
Right.
Oh.
Like, and then my car blew a head gasket, so now I have to drive the farm truck back and forth to work every day, which is not fun.
Nope.
My car has, you know, tinted windows and loud stereo and all the fun stuff, and the farm truck
and his awesome little fast car that like runs like it's on rails, and
and the farm truck is a farm truck. It has nothing, and it's boring.
Funky. There we go.
So it's not fun.
In the middle. There we go. So, I just been playing a lot of Quest. I got to play with my son for a little while tonight. Got to play some Quest.
Nice.
And he showed me a bunch of settings that like totally changed the game for me.
Huh.
Like I was having trouble hitting guys in this one game, and he went through and said turn this on, turn this off, turn this on, turn this off. totally changed the game for me.
Nice.
So I'm happy now.
Which
I was
game was
picking
that
off guys that Ghosts of Tabar.
Oh, okay.
A totally different game now. I'm picking off guys from like miles away instead of missing them at 10 feet. So
nice.
So good stuff. It basically took the shake out of it and made it real smooth to aim and stuff. So good stuff.
Oh, is it one of those ones that wants you to buy the little clicker thing?
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I do it without it and was doing just fine. So that being said, I don't have anything else really going on. Just, normal life. Hit the gym today. Meant to go yesterday. Never got around to it. Didn't have the energy. So I'm loving the shirt today. That one's fantastic. The Cowboy Cats. Digging it. Bob has the best wardrobe in the paranormal game, I'm telling you. So, if you guys wouldn't mind tapping, giving us some hearts down there while you're hanging out with us, we'd really appreciate it. And we are going to get on with, what do we get, 10?
Yeah.
10 demonic hauntings.
Right.
So, let's start with one of the most popular, well-known.
Most famous, probably.
Most famous, yep. The Amityville Horror, 1974 in New York. So after Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his family, the Lutz family moved in and experienced paranormal terror. Mm-hmm. And objects moved on their own, and green slime oozed from the walls. Now, George Lutz claimed to wake up at 3:15 every night, which was the time of the unalivings, and a demonic pig-like creature with glowing eyes was seen. The family fled after just 28 days.
Yeah.
So
left all their possessions behind and just bolted.
And we have talked a lot about this one. If you go back to the demonic possessions, last week, we talked a good bit about this. So yeah, it was definitely an interesting story. Bob and Angie have covered the Amityville Horror, the movie, and have talked a lot. So if you're interested in the movie, there's the other podcast that's on this channel. They cover the Amityville Horror movie. So if you want to find out about the movie that goes along with this, jump in there, go down that rabbit hole. It's a good listen. So thank you for the likes, Em. I appreciate it. So our next one, unless is there something you want to talk about? No. Okay.
I figured once we get to 5, then we'll talk about our demonic haunting theories.
All right. So the Enfield poltergeist, 1977 in England. A single mother, Peggy Hodgson, and her daughters reported furniture moving by itself. Mm-hmm. Now, 11-year-old Janet levitated in front of witnesses, which is actually pretty rare.
Yeah, there's actually a really good photo of that, too.
So, disembodied voices spoke through Janet in deep, unnatural tones, and the haunting was investigated by paranormal experts and the Warrens, which are paranormal experts. They're like some of the most well-known paranormal investigators out there.
Right.
A demonic entity allegedly tormented the family for 18 months.
Right.
That's a long time to put up with something in your house. I know I dealt with it for like 2 weeks, and that was plenty. It wasn't demonic, but something was in my apartment. That's because I heard those knockings. I heard I had stuff fall off the shelves. Stuff walk past my door. You have stuff that goes on here all the time.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Because the last owner of this house unalived himself right over in the stairwell. It's like, 15 feet that way? So he gets lots of good stuff going on in here. So I think it's funny when you're the host on TikTok. Every time you like the live, it says you like the live, and it scrolls it. But if you're co-hosting, it doesn't do that.
Yeah, or the people who are watching.
There are people who are watching. It's too funny. Yeah. So... The Smurls, which we talked about the Smurls last week, too.
Yeah.
The Smurl haunting, 1974 to 1989 in Pennsylvania, which we thought was funny. We both thought it said the Smurfs at first. Right. So the Smurl family suffered from a violent poltergeist, and smells of rotten flesh filled the house with no source. The entity physically assaulted family members, including levitation. Dark shadow figures appeared in their bedroom, and Ed and Lorraine Warren, once again on the scene, declared it a demonic presence.
Yeah. Every single one of these so far has had the Warrens
Yeah.
involved.
Well, that was that's the time period. The Warrens were really big.
And that's their niche.
And that's their niches. Yeah. Like they were the big paranormal people of that time. Take Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and smash them together, and that's how popular they were.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They were legit the people to call.
They would have a big TV show now.
Oh, yeah.
They used to write books back then, but nowadays they would have a podcast and a TV show.
Which rabbit hole? I need to check that book out of yours that has the magic sigils.
Oh yeah.
So I can pick out what I want to get tattooed on myself.
Yeah, I found one already.
Did you? What's it for? Or what's the spell for?
I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. I'll show you though.
Right on. So after the second annual meet and greet coming up on August 11th, which I'll talk about at the end here, we're all going to go out and get tattoos again like we did last year.
Yeah.
So last year I got, and it's hard to see angle-wise, I got this ghosty last year, and several other people got ghosts and stuff. Thank you for the corn, Robin. We haven't done that in a while. It's corn. It's a big lump of knobs. It has the juice. It has the juice. So thank you for all the corn, Robin. Appreciate it. So the Perron family haunting in 1971, Rhode Island. Now, this was the basis for the Conjuring movies from 2013. The Perron family experienced extreme cold spots and objects moving. Apparitions of a woman named Bathsheba tormented them. Yeah. Now, Caroline Perron was allegedly possessed, and once again, out come the Warrens to take a look. So, right in their wheelhouse.
Yep. It's in their area, too.
Yeah. Yeah, the Warrens are up in the northeast there. Mm-hmm. So, the Demon House of Gary, Indiana. Yeah. Now, this was in 2011, so this is more recent.
Right.
And we did discuss last week about, it's not something simple for the church to go say, yes, this is a demonic possession or a demonic haunting. It takes something for the church to actually say it's a demon.
Yeah.
So Latoya Amons and her children were possessed. Police and medical staff witnessed a child walking up walls. Mm-hmm. That's a new one. Yeah. A dark entity attacked visitors in their sleep. The church performed an official exorcism. Zach Baggins bought and later demolished the house.
Mm-hmm. He had all of instead of the demolition crew taking all the debris, they actually stored all of the debris.
Really?
And put it into containers that he took somewhere else.
Wow.
So instead of demolishing the house and then trucking all the debris off to the landfill or whatever, he had all of that put into shipping containers and then took it to an undisclosed location.
Dang, that's a hell of a possession then right there. You're talking some nastiness.
Yeah.
Which you've got some nasty things in some of your possessions.
Yeah.
So you've got a couple of items that are possessed or haunted or however you want to put it.
They have attachment to it.
Have attachment. All right. So we got through the first 5.
Yeah. And I thought we could talk about how places can get demonic, typically from my experience with, you have a haunting, right? And then that's just kind of like residual energy or a person who passed away. But demonic energy, how a demon gets stuck there is by somebody doing the ritual and messing it up.
Right.
So they either leave a portal open and the demon can come and go, or they don't do the banishing part of the ritual and now the demon has a fetter to that place.
Right, which is why we tell everyone, do not do any kind of communications at your own home.
Yeah.
Because you can open that doorway, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're inviting something nasty in, and it's there.
And sometimes by accident.
Yeah, by accident. So we always say never, ever, ever do communications at your own home.
Yeah. And there are ways that I won't tell you how it is, but there is a documentary that's out there in the world, and it has 2 spells in it. And if you watch the entire first part without following it through to the end where the other ritual is, you can unlock a bunch of bad stuff to happen in your house, especially if you're a sensitive person. So I won't tell you what it is because it's bad. It's happened multiple times that I've heard. It happened to me, and it's happened to other people who I've talked to about it. So don't.
Right. Exactly.
Be careful if you're a sensitive person, or if you're a person who works magic or even root magic easily.
Yeah.
You're a person that can do like hoodoo without thinking about it. Like you can just see somebody on TikTok do a little thing and it works for you. You have to be very careful about performing rituals that you're not aware of.
Right.
Even sometimes songs can have rituals in it. And if you're like a metal person and you're singing along to a song and it has a ritual in it, then you're performing a ritual in your house. So you have to be careful. Sometimes even things that we would think are silly, like the Ouija board, you're opening up
a real thing.
A communication with possibly a demon.
And I saw a great picture about that the other day. It showed like a spirited figure with its hand on the planchette.
Yeah. And it's easy. It's easier than you think. That's how all of these things happen. It's not just some people in cloaks and candles in their ritual space doing some kind of evil satanic ritual. Sometimes it's just a little goth girl in her mom's bedroom or in their bedroom reading a book, and then that's the same thing,
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm gonna read this out loud.
Yeah, all it takes is somebody has to mean it.
Yep.
And if you're really into this song or you're really into this movie and you sing along or you open up that gateway, then now they're loose in your house. So
got a new giant water bottle today.
Yeah, that's nice, huh?
It was only $6 at Wally World.
Huh.
And you're supposed to drink it during the day.
Nice.
12 hours of drinking.
Oh, I got you. Nice. My doctor says I don't drink anywhere near as much water.
Yeah, I probably don't either. I'm like hydrated by energy drinks. My body is sponsored by Ghost Energy Drink. That's all I'm saying. I could put a sticker on there.
Yeah, right.
So
that was our mid-roll. Our mid-roll, what do they call it? The talk. We had not a show and talk, but whatever. It's our mid-roll talk about this.
Right. So the Bell Witch Haunting, which is another popular one, 1817 1821 in Tennessee. The Bell family was tormented by a malevolent spirit. The entity spoke, predicted events, and physically assaulted them. Now, John Bell Sr. died after being poisoned, allegedly by the entity. Mm-hmm. And President Andrew Jackson was said to have encountered the spirit, and it remains one of the most famous American hauntings.
That one, if you ever want to look into some crazy stuff, that is a good one to look into.
Go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, because that is supposedly a witch, a demonic or satanic witch that passed away and put a curse on this land. And they've seen everything from werewolf-like creatures to banshees, storms coming out of nowhere. It is
thick, unnatural thick fog.
Yeah.
Like just weirdness stuff.
Outlandish claims. And it's in Tennessee, so it's right in the middle if you ever want to go.
Go for a drive. Yeah. There you go. Road trip. Oh. The South Shields Poltergeist, 2006 in England. A family was targeted by an unseen force throwing objects. The demon left threatening messages on their child's toys. The husband was attacked with claw marks appearing on his body. The entity manipulated objects into horrifying figures, and investigators documented genuine poltergeist activity, which is another really rare thing, is actual genuine poltergeist activity.
Yeah.
I see so many fake videos on TikTok and Instagram. It just infuriates me because, we try to be legit paranormal investigators. Yeah. And go above and beyond to do what we can do to be legit.
Right. We'll try to
further
the
science. So much fake stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on like the Slapped Ham or one of those top 10 sites and they see like top 10 paranormal activity and just get ready to start laughing.
And you see the blanket being pulled from this one specific spot where you see the wires tied to it because it's narrow and then there's like a little bulge of blanket at the end.
Yeah.
And it comes off.
Or they have all of the cabinet doors and stuff open up, but they always open in the same direction.
Yeah.
Like where all the fishing lines go.
Yeah. I saw one the other week, which I'm still on the fence about. It was the guy passed away in the middle of the night, and it's like the house started becoming haunted immediately. So the bedroom door opened, and she trying to wake him up. He's not waking up, and then something falls off the bed next to him and stuff. So I'm on the fence about that one. I can't find anything crazy, to set it apart because it's kind of dark. I'm on the fence on that one.
The only one that I can't debunk is I saw a video where a candle was picked up out of a candelabra and then walked across the room, and then it actually like the entity was holding it and pulled it through the door, and the candle hit the door and then fell on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if you were trying to do that with strings, I don't know how you would do it, because
it would probably twist and turn and everything else.
But it looked exactly like somebody was holding it with their fingers and then walked across the room, and then like they walked out the door, but they were transparent and the candle wasn't, so the candles popped and then fell on the floor. And I was like, of all the ones, that's one of mine and Angie's things that we do. We'll scroll through here we go, top 20. Here we go again. And we're like, oh, string. Oh, that's a string. Green screen. Yeah. Oh, that's a cut. There's a cut there. There's a cut there. You know, we just pick them apart. Yeah.
All right. So the haunting of the Snedeker House, 1986, Connecticut. Now, once a funeral home, the house had dark history. The Snedeker family witnessed shadow figures and violent attacks. Their son became possessed, speaking in eerie voices. Now, the Warrens, once again, investigated and confirmed demonic forces. Now, this one inspired the Haunting in Connecticut film from 2009. So,
and that's one of those ones that it was on A Haunting, the TV show A Haunting. It was on... what was that? The Paranormal Files. It was on that. They had their own movie. It was on a lot of stuff.
Now the Haunting TV shows, those things are wild.
Yeah.
So, somebody commented something.
What'd they comment?
Somebody wrote a short book on demonic possession called Evil Among Us. It's on Kindle. So there's a rabbit hole you can go down.
Yeah.
We'll encourage other paranormal people, definitely. Here's another big one that we actually talked about last week.
Yeah, we talked about it.
So the exorcism of Anneliese Michael, 1975 in Germany. Anneliese showed extreme possession symptoms. She spoke in multiple voices, growled, and contorted unnaturally. Now, the multiple voice thing, that one always trips me out. Yeah. When they speak in multiple voices at the same time, when they have recordings of that one trips me out.
Especially the recordings from that one. If you ever listen to those, it is unchained. Because when I first listened to it, I was like, "Oh man, because there's a person, it's her, right, who's speaking in Latin, and then there's obviously the two people in German that are speaking, right, and then there's like another person that comes in, and it's like in like Greek or Italian maybe, and then I found out that was her,
right?
She was the one speaking that whole time in that. So in that, all three of those people having that conversation was her.
Right.
By herself. There was one other person in there who was not talking.
Im Namen des dreifaltigen Gottes und aller Heiligen Jungfrau Maria, sagt die Wahrheit.
And now this one we talked about this one last week, but they did 67 exorcisms.
Yeah.
Like over a 10-month period. And, she refused food, believing demons would let her eat, or they wouldn't let her eat, and she died in 76, leading to a high-profile trial.
Right.
Because they accused the family of neglect.
Right. Which
so
is terrible.
Even though all of this went on, she just refused to eat. So, man, that's wild.
That is a thing with a lot of people that are possessed, is they have to put a feeding tube in them.
Yeah.
At some point because they just refuse.
Last but not least, the Warrens in the Union Cemetery case in Connecticut, one of the most haunted cemeteries in the U.S. The White Lady, a ghostly figure, was seen by many. Demonic shadows attacked nighttime visitors, and the Warrens captured evidence of its malevolent energy, and no one dares to enter after dark. I would. I'd go.
Oh, yeah, I would.
I would absolutely go. You ain't even got to twist my arm. Like, come on, Bob, let's go.
Right.
Let's go check this out, see what happens. Wouldn't be the first cemetery I've been in after dark. I mean, which actually reminds me, I was up, I went and worked out today, and I got sushi, and then went to Walmart, and I took Richardson Road, kind of the back way over there, and the Richardson Cemetery. I need to go make a video over there.
Okay.
I need to do that one of these days and get it out there for everybody to see, because I love them old little cemeteries.
Oh, yeah.
So, now, I don't think I've ever dealt with actually demonic, but for some reason, a lot of dark entities come to me in some of the places that we've investigated. Now, the last team that Bob and I were on together, they did not like to talk about anything dark whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No.
And if you brought it up, you were chastised.
Yeah.
So if you know, somebody...
Even if it was a part of the thing.
Right.
Right, like what, that people had done rituals there in the past. So it could be, none of that. Like, well, they had this ritual space.
Right.
Like, surely they were doing rituals in there.
Right. Well, now I did one time bring it up and was vindicated by saying that the family home had been... had a psychic in there, and they felt someone was graped. And, SA happened and whatnot, and I felt that, and I brought that up. And they were like, we were wondering if somebody was going to say something about that. So I was actually vindicated on that one for bringing that up. But then they had another house that I felt had some bad juju in it. I was in there, everybody had left. I was in there by myself. They were starting to renovate the place, so it was completely gutted, like down to bare bone skeleton walls.
Right.
And I felt just something nasty in there, and got just a bad feeling. So, but I don't think I've ever dealt with a demonic situation. But I'm not worried because I got you, Bob.
I've been called in a couple times where ghost hunters, at least 2 times I can think of off the top of my head, where ghost hunters that we know have gotten in over their heads and wanted a second opinion before, because if you have like lay people, like your hobbyist ghost hunters, and they go to the Catholic Church and they're like, hey, there's demon stuff, they're going to be like,
give Bob a call.
Go on up the street, bro. We don't have time for your nonsense. Yep. You know what I mean? But they know that if I approach them,
right, because you went through the classes.
This is a step above, right? This is a step above what we normally see as a ghost haunting. Like,
Bob, have you ever heard of the perfect possession? Okay, so the phrase was coined by Malachi Martin, a former Jesuit priest. No, I haven't heard of that, actually. We don't normally do like demonic and things like that, but we're mostly ghost and UFO and cryptids and that kind of stuff. But Bob and Angie watched 30 demonic haunting possession movies in October, and they've been reviewing those movies.
Yeah.
And last week we thought, we haven't covered that yet.
Right.
So we just kind of, and what we like to do here is we like to scratch the surface and encourage other people to go down the rabbit hole, because then that way nobody can take our opinion for it. You know what I mean? We can talk what we want to talk, but we don't want to encourage anybody's thought process on it.
Yeah.
So that's why we do what we do. We just kind of scratch the surface a little bit, get a little information out there, and that encourages people to do their own research and come to their own conclusions. Yeah. Because we don't want to force our opinion on anybody.
Right, exactly.
So that's why we haven't gone deep into that rabbit hole. And we got some good traction last week with our demonic possession.
Like 500 something views on one of our shorts, so we thought this would be a good thing to.
Yep. Go ahead and do one more demonic hauntings.
Oh, there's something blinking on the camera. I don't know what that says.
Oh, the battery's about to die.
Is that what it is?
Oh no. 0 minutes on the battery. So I guess we'll wrap this up. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube and